guys, welcome back to another video of What If Morgan stayed with Rick in The Walking Dead. So let's get into it. We started by seeing Glenn and Daryl, who were at someone's grave. And it's not just someone's grave, it's Rick Grimes' grave. And they'd both be honoring Rick, and this is the starting of Season 9. The first scene of Season 9 is Rick getting honored by the people that saved his life, but in reality, he saved theirs many times by being an amazing leader. And Negan has become a citizen in Alexandria, and he's a full-up worker in Alexandria. He has his own duty, and he's a good person now, but his actions still haven't been forgotten, as he killed Abraham and many others. And Maggie and Glenn are the new leaders of the Hilltop, because Gregory, he's not a good leader, bro. And since there isn't much for 5 episodes of Season 9, all they do is basically just go on Supply Run, and they just live peacefully, and they do basically nothing except just live peacefully for those episodes. But then the time skip happens, and there's really nothing I can tell before, because I don't want to just have you guys sitting here and be like, oh my god, bro, when is this gonna end? Just get to something good. So that's why we're just gonna skip to 6 years later, in episode 6 of Season 9. And we see Judith, and she would still find Magnus' group with Luke, Connie, and Kelly, and Unico. And we'd see a guy with a mask on with a lot of other people with masks following behind him, and his name's Beta, and he's hiding in walkers with his group, but he's not the leader of the group. It's a woman named Alpha, and she seems to have cancer. Oh, I'm kidding. And Alpha has a daughter named Lydia, and Alpha would tell Beta to go scout ahead alone, because she's seen a couple of people just walking around that area, and obviously it's the group, but they don't know that. And Beta tells Alpha he'll do it. And Beta would see Dr. Jenner, and he doesn't have much fighting skills, but he tries to fight off Beta because he thinks he's a walker. But Beta would slam Dr. Jenner to the ground, and Beta would get out his knives, and then the rest is just blood. And Beta would stab Dr. Jenner until he dies. And before dying, Dr. Jenner tells Beta, "You've made a big mistake, and now there's no fixing it. It's a war upon us." And Beta just ignores him and tells him, "Now you're dead, and you'll just be another person for us to disguise in with." But then a man with a mask shoots Beta's leg, and then he takes off his mask, and he reveals to be Jesus. Jesus would tell Beta to leave, and if he leaves, they won't have a war on them. And if it's a war, there's one of you and many of us. Beta tells Jesus that he doesn't even know if he's alone. And how does Beta know that Jesus is alone or not? But then from behind, Gabriel and Aaron come, and they aim their guns at Beta. And Jesus tells Beta, "Now you know." Beta would tell them that there's idiots for letting him live, and then he'd throw his knives at Jesus, but he'd miss. Then Beta would just start running, because the group are distracted if Beta got hurt or not. And it's just Aaron and Gabriel that are distracted, not the group, because they're the only 3 that are there. And we see Morgan, who's still trying to recover from losing his wife Jenny and his son Dwayne, and now Rick. And Morgan would put on his hat, because now he's getting a bit mad, because all he's doing is sitting around and doing nothing, and he just hates himself for some reason. Well, there are reasons, but this video will be too long to explain all of them. Well, the first reason is his wife died, but yeah, let's just continue. And Morgan puts on his hat, and he'd get his axe. And you might be wondering, what is he gonna do? He's going back to Alexandria because let me remind you, he left the group after Rick died. And Morgan doesn't get there so peacefully because he'd run into someone. It's Alpha, and she'd point her gun at Morgan, and she tells him to get on the ground and kneel. But when Morgan denies to get on the ground, and whispers start coming all around Morgan, and they circle him, and slowly Morgan would get on the ground. Well, the whispers look on, but then Beta would come behind Alpha and tell Alpha when he was scouting ahead, he found this guy and he killed him. And then 3 other guys came and attacked him. And they said that they have more people. So they're a problem now because they shot him in the damn leg. Then Alpha looks at Morgan asking him, "Are you with those people?" And Morgan asks, "Describe them." Beta tells Morgan a guy who's an extremely good fighter with a decent amount long beard, and a guy who seems kind of buff or something, and he has the same amount of beard, and a bald guy with a mustache who's wearing a priest outfit. And he killed this doctor guy, and his friends called him Jenner. Morgan tells them, yeah, he knows them. They used to be with him, but then someone died and he left them. Morgan says they're good people and you should leave them alone. They have a lot of firepower. Alpha says that if they cross paths again, they have a war upon them. And she tells Morgan that he's not safe either, because now he's seen them, and he can tell them their plans. Beta would tell Alpha that he can deal with this guy. He's just a weak, lonely, stupid, depressed idiot. Morgan tells Beta to test him and see what he can really be beneath this sad, lonely, depressed, stupid idiot. And Beta gets out his knives and he looks at Morgan and says, "Let's do this then." And Morgan launches up in the air with this Aikido, but Beta dodges this. And he'd punch Morgan in the face. And Beta lifts up Morgan, slamming him towards a tree over and over again. And Beta starts destroying Morgan in this fight. And over, Beta just slams, Morgan on the tree, his head. And then he just, stabs him a couple times. And Morgan cannot land a single hit in this fight. But Morgan is a pretty great fighter in this show. But, in this universe, he has not had, much fights. When he hasn't fought a human for 6 years in this for the 6-year time skip. But while Morgan's getting destroyed in the fight, he remembers when him and Rick went to Atlanta to find his family, and he remembers the words Rick said: "If we get separated, take this radio and I'll be on it every day and dawn." And Morgan hears Rick's voice in his head telling him that he can do it. All he needs is to be up at day and dawn. Then Morgan gets up and he stabs Beta in the arm. And this pushes Beta back when Morgan pulls his Aikido back. Then Morgan hits Beta in the face with his Aikido. Morgan shoots Beta in the head, killing him. And Morgan shoots a couple of the whispers, and he would run as fast as he can. But that will be it for today, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed, and bye-bye!